friends! My name is Pam. Welcome back to my bookshelf. And today I'm bringing you the TBR tag. The original creator of this tag is from a blog called A Perfection Called Books, but the original post is not available anymore. But these questions look so fun, and I wanted to share my answers. Lots of other booktubers have answered this tag as well. Let's get started. Question number 1 is, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? For those of you watching unaware, TBR stands for To Be Read, and it's the pile of books that we want to read. My bookshelf is now organized unread versus read, and you can see the whole process of that happening in my bookshelf reorganization video, linked above and in the description. I really like this new organization because I don't have to dig around to find an unread book for me to read. I just know they're all up here above your line of sight, but this one is also part of the unread group. And then from here on to the end, which is over here, are all the books I have read and that I'm keeping. Question 2 is your TBR mostly in print or ebook? Mine is almost exclusively in print. I have a few books unread on my Kobo, but I use it mostly for loans from the library. I want to read more with it. I love being able to carry around so many books in such a tiny space. Question 3 is, how do you determine what book from your TBR to read next? This year, in 2021, I have a few books that I chose for each month for the Buzzword Reading Challenge. My full list is in a video linked above and below. So first I try to read those books, and then I just see what pulls me from my shelf. I see how I'm feeling, and I go from there. I really am a mood reader. Question 4 is, what book has been on your TBR the longest? Here is Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo. This is a French translation by Brigitte Frégy, and this has been on my shelf for a very long time. I've had this since I was a kid, and my dad was really trying to get me to read more French books because he's francophone, he's a French high school teacher, he wants me to read more in French, and he and I made a deal where if I read this French copy of Winn-Dixie, then I could go see the movie that got made. And then I didn't finish the book and I went and saw the movie anyway. I still feel kind of bad about that, but this book's been on my shelf for a long time, and I do want to read it. It's about a dog. I love dogs. So hopefully I actually do get to read this year. It's got a pretty big font, and of course it's a middle grade or young adult story, so should be pretty easy to read. I just started it a long time ago and never finished it. But this has been on my shelf for a long time. Question 5 is, name a book you recently added to your TBR. Physically, I have 2 here. I found at the thrift store a final copy of The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli to go with my ARC that I have, and so I'm technically counting this as unread because I haven't read the final copy. I only read an ARC back before it came out. Also at the thrift store, I found The Deep by Rivers Solomon, and this just is an incredible edition. I love it so much, and I'm so excited to read this year. Maybe next month? Who knows? It's quite a short book, and it looks incredible, and I've only heard great things about it. Question 6 is, name a book that's on your TBR specifically because of its beautiful cover. Now, we all say to not judge a book by its cover, but there's some really pretty covers out there, and we're allowed to love them. I have 2 books I'm going to show you, because I cannot just choose one. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson is stunning. This book is incredible. I showed it in a very special book haul, one of my first videos ever, and it's got such a beautiful purple. It's got this beautiful smiling girl with a little doodle of a crown on her, and underneath the dust jacket, the cover is engraved in this beautiful bubblegum pink. This is a beautiful book, and yeah, I did buy it a little bit because of the cover, but also because it sounds very happy, and I need more happy books in my life. The other book I have here because of its cover is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. I've read only one of Alice Hoffman's books, and I really loved it. I read, what's it called? The Museum of Extraordinary Things, I think? And I really enjoyed it, and so I've been wanting to get more of her other books, and I have quite a few now. I just need to read them, but I know I picked this one up because of the cover. It's yellow and shiny, and it's a very nice paperback, very floppy. It's also really soft. It's one of those like soft matte books. And yeah, I love this cover so much. I'm excited to read this maybe this year, hopefully. The idea of my big unhaul was that the rest of the books I have, I want to read either this year or hopefully next year and like feel good about what I'm keeping. And that leads us to question 7. Name a book on your TBR that you never plan on reading. I refuse to answer this question. No, that is the reason I unhauled 150 books, which I documented in a video linked above and below. Yes, this is a video where I promo other videos. I unhauled those books so I wouldn't have this problem. If you watch that video, I will name some books that I will never read. Question 8 is, name an unpublished book on your TBR that you are excited for. Cameron Garrett, author of Full Disclosure, which I loved, has a new book coming out in May called Off the Record. Look at this cover. It's gorgeous. Full Disclosure also has a very beautiful cover. I love everything about it. I'm so excited for Off the Record. It looks incredible, and I really enjoyed Cameron Garrett's writing style in Full Disclosure, and so I'm really excited to read something new from her. Off the Record is about an aspiring journalist who wins a contest to work for a magazine and write a profile of a celebrity, but then she uncovers a scandal and has to navigate that road of, is it her place to write this story versus calling this person out versus protecting victims, and it just looks incredible. And Mason Deaver has a new book coming out called The Ghosts We Keep. I believe it comes out in June, and I really enjoyed their first book called I Wish You All the Best, which I have in ebook and audio, and maybe I'll get a print copy too, I don't know. I really enjoyed the story. It was so good. The Ghosts We Keep is about grief and losing someone close to you. And the description on Goodreads has an excellent tagline that I'm just going to read to you. Perfect for fans of Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. This book will rip your heart out before showing you how to heal from tragedy and celebrate life in the process. That sounds so good! I really love Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli's writing, and yet I have not read What If It's Us by the two of them. That's for another time. I'm really excited to see Mason Deaver's second book. They are an incredible writer, and I'm so excited to see them soar with their sophomore book. Question 9 is, name a book on your TBR that you feel like everyone has read but you. I'm really going to be calling myself out here because The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas is a book I have not read yet, and everyone else has, absolutely, I'm sure of it. I'm going to read it this year, I promise. I just know that it's going to be so good that I'm scared of how good it's going to be. And of course, it's going to make me cry. I'm like 90% sure it's going to make me cry. Question 10 is a book on your TBR that everyone recommends you. I mostly curate my shelf by myself. No one really personally recommends me a book that I haven't already read, but I did have a friend say that The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab is up my alley and that I will most certainly like it. Other than that, my aunt sent me these two John Grishams, A Time to Kill and The Pelican Brief. She thinks I'll like them. Question 11 is, name a book on your TBR that you're dying to read. All of them, okay? I really am excited to read all of them. But to be more specific and to narrow it down, let's say Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I got 44 pages in, but then I got sucked into some other books, as you do. But I have so many questions, and I want to continue it. I'm also very excited to read Gloria O'Brien's History of the Future by A.S. King. This would be my first A.S. King book, and I want to dive into her writing and read more of her books, hopefully, if I like this one. And finally, question 12. How many books are on your TBR? And here you're going to get a sneak peek at my book database. It's a very tiny sneak peek. Here are some of the numbers. I have 149 books unread. I have 36 that I started and did not finish, so they are unfinished. I have 221 read for a grand total of 406 books after the unhaul that I went through. And that's it! Those are my answers to the TBR tag. This was really fun, and it would be really fun to come back in 1 year and see if I read these two books that I mentioned. Probably, but you know, it'd be fun to compare. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more bookish content, and comment down below a book that you're dying to read. All right, have a great day and happy reading. Bye!